The community of Ga-Sekororo, a village just outside Tzaneen under the Maruleng local municipality, is reeling from the passing of one of their own, 28-year-old Louis Moagi, who is the firstborn and the sole provider for his family, was among the 9 SANDF troops who lost their lives after the 2 days of fierce fighting with the M23 rebels. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana is at Moagi's former high school and now joins us live. Zola, very good morning to you. You've spoken to the family. The news, of course, to them came as a shock, and now you're at the high school. Tell us about what they are saying this morning.
Well, Aljan, we are at Louis' former high school, and this is where he spent about 5 years of his life after completing matric in 2017. A year later, in 2018, he was recruited in the South African National Defence Force. We have some of his former teachers who know him from a very young age and, described him as a very humble little boy that, had a bright future and always knew what he wanted to do. Yesterday, when we visited the home, we were able to see one of his diary, where he wrote about, what he had anticipated in life, what he wanted to become, and part of that was either becoming a police officer or a soldier. But let's find out from one of his former teachers, how Louis was as a learner growing up. So thank you very much for your time. You have spent a couple of years with the late Louis Moagi. What kind of a learner or student was he?
Good morning to you and your viewers at home. Yes, I managed to be one of the educators of Moagi Louis in grade 8 and also in grade 11. I taught him social sciences and also geography. And then he was a very kind and humble learner. We as teachers, we were not even afraid to go to the class, because amongst the learners in that grade, there was this young boy who was always ready to learn, who was also even encouraging other learners to take their education very serious. Thank you.
Did you know that he was going to amount to the man that he was? Did he perhaps speak about what he wanted to be?
Yeah, well, in grade 8, that's where maybe I used to ask him some of the questions, including even other learners about their career. So he managed to mention that he wants to see himself serving the society, serving the community. But we didn't go further to mention exactly how he wants to serve the community.
Thank you very much. So we'll bring in the principal of the school. So thank you very much for your time. This is not just a loss for the Moagi family, but for the school and the community as well, because this is someone that some of the learners in the school looked up to.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. It is a great loss, a huge one. As schools, we always look up to, when we teach learners to come mean and do great to their families. But yeah, we lost a lot. He was one of those learners at that time that were so focused, so humble. You would work well with them, and so far it's devastating. Yeah.
Did you know about his deployment to the DRC?
Yeah, fortunately I knew about it. Maybe because other than being his principal or former principal, we also related. So that's how I knew. I knew he was in Mozambique a year or two. And then from there, I knew also that he went to the DRC.
Mm-hmm. And when you saw on the news what was happening there, I mean, when we spoke to the family yesterday, they did mention that they started panicking when they could not reach him. How were you feeling when you saw that there was trouble in the DRC?
It was very much disturbing. It was very hurting. At first, when I saw the first statistics, I think it was 5 or 6, the first reported ones, I started wondering, but I was just hoping. It's, always you hope that he's not among them. And then the number rose to 8, and it was 9. Then I started realizing, no man, something is not right here. And when I started talking to other members of the family, and they also could not find him or communicate with him, we started panicking up until the very same day that he got shot, I think I got a message in the evening, actually in the night. I got a call that he was amongst the casualties, and from then it wasn't okay.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. That was the principal and also a relative to the late Louis Moagi. Aljan, a very sad moment it is for this community, especially the family. In fact, when we spoke to his grandmother yesterday, he says it looked like this boy was preparing for his departure because he renovated at home. His last conversation that he had with his mother on the 24th was paving the yard and making sure that the borehole is operating, only to find out that he will not return to actually see the final product of his hard work. Later on, we'll be able to speak to people that grew up with him and really find out, who this person was. Back to you in studio.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Zola, Sholwana there. And according to the SANDF, the process around the repatriation of the bodies of the 9 could take some time before those 9 bodies are back in the country.